sure that he knew that we were listening. This is Spencer with AJ.
It's at the end, he was stopping around. That's all it was.
Style.
But that fight up until 10 was dead level.
Yeah.
You was outboxing the best boxer in the world. Your stock rose, mate.
You were up after 9.
Like,
you were up after 9.
You come out of that with victory, mate. Like, you, honestly, you know, if there was any doubters out there now, bro, there's none now at all. No. But I know how much you graft. I know how much you want it. And the people that doubt you, he's earning so much money, he's not got a love and desire. You have that. Listen, and you didn't come up short.
And it was to get the undisputed fight. How sick would that have been?
Yeah, but that will
You'll still fight him, though. You'll still fight Fury, won't you? You'll still fight
well
Fury.
in the mix. Like, mate, that was a split decision. Yeah. And there's massive fights out there for you. Every time you go into a return of a defeat or whatever, you adapt. You've got that adaptability, and you're still learning. People don't realise that.
So we were speaking about
the finished article.
If there was any doubt about you before...
Wow! And the worst thing for me, this cat here, Spencer Oliver, that was the main one you heard rimming. But the biggest travesty, which is actually gone quite amiss at the moment, is this goofy here. For you man who don't know, that there, is the Team Fury shill. Gareth A. Davis, aka Russell Crowe. This for me was... You wait until Tyson Fury sees this. Russell Crowe shot himself in the foot. And you can tell both of these men didn't realise it was on camera. Unbelievable. Yeah? Gareth A. Davis was just sucking hard. Oh, in fact, I can't even remember the things he said. Let's go back one more time. Let's replay it. I'm going to break it down bit by bit.
You was outboxing the best boxer in the world. Just stop.
You was outboxing the best boxer in the world. Where was that at? And this is the thing, you see, people. Unfortunately, I've been saying for a long time, AJ's team, they give top like you wouldn't believe. Yeah? So most of AJ's team, they should make their own OnlyFans. Because they give the best top. Yeah? If only the world could see how good AJ's team and AJ's inner circle is at topping man off. Trust me. Yeah? The 2022 Dude Topper Awards. AJ's team, they got the flush. Top 10 in the world, all of them AJ team. Yeah? And even his outer circle. This guy, Spencer Oliver Goober, he ain't even in AJ's team. In fact, Gareth A. Davis, he's actually kind of an arch enemy of AJ. He'd always side with Tyson Fury, and it shows you the power. I'm not sure what it is. Is it the power of celebrity? What has these grown-ass, old-ass dudes who have their own families, what has them sucking and lying to another man? Genuinely, I wouldn't mind. For example, let's say that these two were at the Fury versus Wilder free press conference, post-fight. And they want to say, Wilder, you know what, mate? You left it all out there. What can we say? You left it all out there and you just got beat by the better man. You know what? I can work with that. But the lies they were telling, you was outboxing. No, you weren't outboxing. I'm sorry, you weren't. I'm not going to lie. Some people said that Usyk dominated. He didn't dominate. The fight was close. But to sit there and say you wasn't outboxing him. You wasn't. Outboxing someone, I'll give you an example of outboxing. AJ versus Parker. That's outboxing someone for 8 rounds. You was in there going 50-50 with Usyk. Or probably 60-40 to Usyk. And you're the bigger man, people. Let's not forget that. A lot of people forget that AJ is the one with 20 pounds in weight, 3 inches in height. So you damn right, he should be outboxing him. That's the bare bones minimum. Do we forget that Bivol had 5 pounds in weight and was able to completely shut down one of the best fighters of the last 20 years? Do you understand? AJ had more double, triple the advantage Bivol had, and still could barely convert that into a 50-50 fight for the first 8 rounds, and then which turned into domination from Usyk because his wheels fell off. What's the point going 50-50 only for your wheels to fall off? That in itself means the fight wasn't 50-50. AJ, had to go all in for 8 rounds to make it 50-50 against a man half his size. By definition, that's not... No, by definition, there's nothing outboxing about that, is there? The bigger man, who then gasses, was outboxing the. I'm sorry, it's wild.
Box the best boxer.
Yeah, but that won it that with victory level. He was
Styles.
fucking around.
That's all it is.
Pick AJ up, but I'm not sure that he knew that we were listening. This is Spencer with AJ.
It's at the end, he was fucking around. That's all it was.
Styles.
But that fight up until 10 was dead.
Gareth A. Davis, Styles. Yeah, that's what it was, Styles. What? Nothing Styles about it. If AJ had pulled his finger out of his ass, if AJ's team had told him to pull his finger out of his ass, he'd have won the fight. I'm sorry. That's my belief. My belief is, if AJ had gone in there with the intention of actually throwing his hands from round 1 to round 12, he'd have won the fight. Go back and watch AJ fights of old. That was AJ's whole thing. AJ's whole thing was step forward, heavy jab, heavy right hand, and then inside shots fly. That was his whole shtick. Go back and watch Parker. Go back and watch Takam. Go back and watch all the early fights up until 2019. All of them ones. Even to be fair, some people say, oh, YB Ruiz broke him. No, it really wasn't. If you watch the Povetkin fight, really, he came out trying to... Yeah, he got the stoppage, but really he came out and trying to negotiate the Povetkin fight. The prime AJ, 2015 to 2016. Sorry, 2015 to 2017. That was his prime. After that, he was going uphill. Let's go to the next quote anyway, because this was shocking. And the Gad needs to be ashamed of himself.
Boxing, the best boxer in the world. Your stock rose, mate.
You were up after 9. You were up after...
Your stock rose. Your stock did not rise. What good is this doing the man? After seeing this fight, the last thing he needs, is to be praised more. What are you trying to do? Get a job? That's what it appears to be. AJ, and that's what I wonder, I wonder why AJ hired the people he hired, It gets me thinking, is it the case AJ hires people who tell him what he wants to hear? Because it seems no one ever critiques AJ. Eddie Hearn sucks him off. AJ's outer circle, Spencer Oliver, sucks him off. AJ's enemies, Gad, suck him off. AJ's cornermen, all we heard, positive things. Now, so AJ himself did say, and I took it meaning something else, but AJ said, oh, I'm not dealing with any negativity. And there are certain dudes, who go way too weird with it as it pertains to the whole spiritual thing. There's certain man, oh, I won't hear anything negative at all. What? But you need to hear negative things to improve. Maybe AJ's, the more I see things, the more I'm led to believe. AJ, literally, he won't hear anything negative whatsoever. If you're not, and that's what Robert Garcia said. When he's been giving AJ pointers, AJ's thrown his toys out the pram, saying, oh, you never tell me what I'm doing good. Well, I'm sorry, AJ, I don't believe that. All we ever hear from your team is what you're doing good. I'm trying to think, when have they actually given him any solid advice or solid critique? Who doing that? No one. It's actually super weird for a top-level athlete never to hear anything negative. Well, to be fair, it's explaining why. It's because of that we're in the situation we're in. That's why people, a big buff dude with 20 pounds and 3 inches in height, that's how he gets filled in by a dude half his size. Mystery solved. Oops. And that's it. That's how the mystery is solved. How does a man half his size whoop a big buff dude? Now you know how. Because the man has taken no critique.
It was dead level.
Yeah.
You was outboxing the best boxer in the world. Your stock rose, mate.
You were up after 9. You were up after 9.
You come out of that with victory, mate.
Gad just said you were up after 9. You was up after 9. You was up after 9. Come on, man, get serious. He was up. God, I hear that. You're up after 9. You're up after 9. Unbelievable.
You know, if there was any doubters out there now, bro, there's none now at all. But I know how.
If there was any doubters out there, bro, there's none now at all. Where is he getting it from? I'm sorry. Anyone real knows AJ's flapped it. Only man fans, only soccer offers think otherwise. I'm sorry. Honestly, I said to you, I'm honest. Show me a play that's happened in the boxing game where I've been biased. I ain't biased at all. I said, if AJ loses against Usyk, yeah, but puts in a valiant effort, I'll be the first one to come out and say, listen, boss, you just got bested. But once again, never mind any of that. AJ, go in there, through the motions. And to hear this, it's no wonder AJ's confused. For the second time now in a row, AJ's been confused after the judges' scores have been released. He can't work out what's going on. He don't get it. And is it the case that people just think, imagine if Spencer Oliver was in AJ's corner, telling him that, oh, you're doing amazing, oh, all this kind of stuff. Can you imagine? And look at AJ's face reaction to the first decision. He was genuinely shocked. We haven't heard from Mr. Robert Garcia, big Mexican style, and Mr. Angel Fernandez disappeared, nowhere to be found. They've dropped off the face of the earth. I think there's a good chance, an 80% chance, that this is the kind of corner work they were given. Honestly, I really want Sky to leak the corner tapes, truth be known. I reckon the same thing you're hearing here. Oh, you do. Yeah. In fact, let me just play it one more time. I keep forgetting the things he says.
There's none now at all. No. But I know how there was any victory, mate. Like, you, honestly, you know, if there was any doubters out there now, bro, there's none now at all. No. But I know how.
If there was any doubters out there, there's effing none at all. And then Gareth goes none. What? There's a whole bag of doubters. For the 10th time in a row, you've turned up and not let your hands go. AJ himself even said, oh, if I'd have performed how I performed in training, I'd have won. What good's that? We knew that. I've been saying that. I've been saying you're a gym fighter. It's no good telling us that now. You had 12 rounds to tell yourself that. And that's really why I did a video yesterday on Leon Edwards. Leon Edwards, his corner team, got the most out of him. I'm not going to lie to you. Do I think Edwards beats Usman in the rematch? Probably not. Did he find a lucky shot? The point is, as a trainer, you can't make your horse drink water. All you can do is bring him to that point. Liam Edwards' team did all they could. They brought him to the point, and the rest is obviously on him. But imagine, yeah, if Leon Edwards' team had sat back and said, oh, you're doing brilliantly. He probably would have thought, well, I'll carry on doing what I'm doing, innit? Losing or not. Just gassed him up. Do you understand? Your job as a team is to be pessimistic. There's no good overpraising your fighter, especially when it's close, especially when you're fighting a champion. AJ had to take the belts. This wasn't a standard defense where all he's got to do is turn up and just go through the motions again. This was it. You must dominate this fight. You must rip the belts from the champion. I'm sorry, apart from round 9, there was no round where you can say AJ was committed to ripping the belts from the champion. He was boxing with Usyk again. And the sheer point Spencer Oliver even has to say, oh, he was outboxing Usyk. That tells you all you need to know. AJ outboxing anyone should have never been on the cards. Should have been Moshe bashing. Yeah? Should have been Moshe bashing Usyk. That's what you should have been doing. Clown have an ass dude. Anyways, one more time. Check these points one more time.
AJ.
Right, so on it, and the people that doubt you, they, oh, he's earning so much money, he's not got a love and desire. You have that. Listen, and you didn't come up short.
And it was to get the undisputed fight. How sick would
You didn't come up short.
Him though.
And it was to get the undisputed fight. How sick would that have been?
Yeah, but that will
You'll still fight him though. You'll still fight you.
Not got a love and desire. You have that. Listen, and you didn't come up short.
And it was to get the undisputed fight. How sick would that have been?
Listen, and you didn't come up short.
And it was to get the undisputed.
You did not come up short. What the fuck are they talking about? I'm sorry. Swear words must come in on this one. Must do. This shows you, this is actually quite an interesting human study on the impacts of celebrity. Because in no other environment, can the man's blatantly lost. The man lost the last 3 championship rounds of a fight where he was the challenger. I'm sorry, it's almost impossible to win a fight, as a challenger when you lose the last 3 rounds, and especially when you lose them in a fashion where it's looking like AJ literally looked any second now he was going to be on the floor. That's how he spent the last 3 rounds, clinging on for dear life. I'm sorry, yeah, you'd need to literally have about 3 knockdowns in the first 9 rounds to win a fight where you blow the last 3. It's just not a good look to lose the last 3 as a challenger, as a big buff challenger at that. No, you got nothing to be ashamed. Oh, you're not a loser. What did they say again? You're not a loser or something. You're a winner tonight. You definitely didn't lose. The fuck?
You had that. Listen,
And
you didn't come up short.
And it
didn't come up short.
How sick would that have been?
Yeah, but that will
You'll still fight him though. You'll still
That
fight
will still
Fury,
come
won't you?
because
You'll still fight
well
Fury.
in the mix. Like, mate, that was a split decision,
Yeah.
and there's massive fights out there for you.
sick.
Every
Oh,
time you
man.
go into a return of a defeat or whatever, you adapt. You've got
can
that
see.
adaptability,
Yeah.
and you're still learning.
Yeah.
People don't realise that.
Oh no, you're still learning. Unbelievable, people. What's he still learning? I'm sorry. AJ doesn't need to still learn. AJ was better in 2015. So what are you talking about? He's still learning. I never got that part, honestly. AJ's best performances, technically or otherwise, was 2015 to 2017. When you look how AJ dealt with Charles Martin, great pure boxing performance, very tight defense, counter punching. He's never done that since. Oops. 2015, the way he decapitated Dillian White. Just in there, relatively tight defense and just mixing it up. He hasn't done that since. 7 years ago. I bet he's still improving. It's really odd. This guy is a clown. Honestly. The generation we live in today is a whopper generation. Full of people who are more interested in sucking another man off. They love it. Love to suck man off. Peep this next one. Peep this now. Here's the next joke. More time. 100%.
Speak all the time. And listen, first, absolutely, I know it about.
I'm saying that's it.
The journey that you've been on, I know it firsthand. I've seen it from the beginning to now.
We're at the same amateur club.
Absolutely, the same amateur club.
Yeah.
We speak all the time. And listen, firstly, I want to salute you on an unbelievable performance. Your stock rose tonight, by the way, because you answered a lot of questions.
Right.
That's what you've done. So you was a victor tonight. You won tonight because there was a lot of people.
You're a victor. You won tonight. Honestly, I want to slap this guy. I'm sorry. I really am. You were the victor tonight. The fuck planet you on? Which one? It's actually starting to piss me off now. I'm sorry. I'm pissed off. I'm actually pissed off. Spencer Oliver, if you're out there, I want to slap you in your face. Can we box? I need that work. I need to work, Spencer. You talk too much shit. It's people like you, which is why AJ's career has gone the way it has. No one's want to give him home truths. No one like the YB in there pulling up and telling him what time it is. You won tonight. What the fuck? How can you win tonight when you got a big juicy L? Again. Oh, you won tonight. You looked amazing. You look shit. AJ, let me tell you now, just in case you're confused, you look shit. How about that? You got bopped up by a man half your size. That's the start and the end of it. Yeah? What's good about that? What's winning about that? You've turned evolution on its head. Evolution has always said the big dominate the small until AJ come along. And I'm sorry, but Tyson Fury will reinforce evolution. He will show you how it was meant to be. Yeah, God put big dudes on the earth to dominate small dudes. You won't see a little skinny lion or a little skinny gorilla getting dominated by a big juicy buff one. You just won't see it until AJ come along. The big buffest one I've ever seen get dominated by some weedy, blown up, soft looking middleweight. Shocking. And you want to talk about winner? A billion years of evolution, AJ's thrown on its head. Yeah?
Usyk showed that champion's heart because there was a lot of people doubting, was the hunger still there? Firstly, I want to salute you on an unbelievable performance. Your stock rose tonight, by the way, because you answered a lot of questions.
Right.
That's what you've done. So you was a victor tonight. You won tonight because there was a lot of people doubting, was the hunger still there? Can Anthony Joshua get down in the trenches?
Yeah.
Can he dig deep when he has to? You answered that tonight, mate. You went there and you done it. You delivered. You met him.
People are questioning, can AJ get deep? Oh, you answered that. Did he? He proved he can't do that. He had one round where he showed inklings of trying to go for it, but really digging deep isn't the first round. Digging deep is OYB. He went for it in round 3, and then he went for it in round 4, and then he had a break, and then he went for it in round 10, and then he finished off the championship rounds going for it. That would be an example of digging deep. Digging deep isn't try and box with the boxer again for 8 rounds, blow your load in round 9, and then give in to your cardio for the last 3 rounds. That's the definition of not digging deep. AJ gave in to his cardio. And I'm sorry, but we've seen Chisora do the opposite. I've seen Chisora in there with Pulev. Gassed. That fight, Chisora versus Pulev, is an example of someone digging deep. Honestly, Chisora looked gassed. Chisora was looking hopeless in his corner from round 4. For the next 9 rounds, he showed digging deep. He was completely done for the last 6 rounds. Finished. No cardio left. And still, by hook or crook, he found a way to wing big shots in and give himself a chance and keep himself in the fight. That there is digging deep. I didn't see any of that from AJ. In fact, he spent most of the fight, most of the championship rounds, clinging on for dear life. That's the facts. Shocking. Really is shocking. I'm disgusted to hear someone like Spencer Oliver saying what he's saying. Here's the next joke anyway. Check this, peep this.
Anything, I'm upset, really, like deep down in my heart.
I mean, look at AJ's face here. Does this face look like a man who's been through a war, who's been through it? He looks like, I've seen dudes, sparring without a headguard have more marks on their face in 16-ounce gloves. These aren't even sparring marks, honestly. I've seen people with bust nose and bust eye from sparring, with big juicy gloves on. This guy's just been in a heavyweight, biggest fight of the world, and he's got 2 little marks on his eye. I'm sorry, that don't cut it for me. If you're desperate to win, you leave with more than that on your face. Even Usyk, for example, has got more damage on his face. Shocking.
Deep down in my heart. Oh.
That face there is a face of self-preservation, as I've been saying. AJ's main objectives are self-preservation. Let me get through this fight, taking as little damage as possible. And let me finish on my feet. That's a victory for AJ, making it the 12 rounds.
Trust me. Oh, fuck.
Who's got a question for me while we're waiting?
Radio right here. Eddie, this is a journey that you've been on as well, the whole way. Obviously 2 losses in a row, your flagship fighter. What is next for you in your mind as a promoter, and what do you say to Anthony Joshua immediately after the fight?
Well, as I said in the ring after, the key to life is happiness, you know, and at the end of the day, I just want him to be happy. He's given his whole life since he started to the sport of boxing, and people don't realise that what a bubble it is in the life and world of Anthony Joshua.
Let's get the violins out, shall we? Oh, AJ has it so hard. He's making 50 million for 30 minutes of easy sparring work. Oh, it's so hard done by. 30 million for turning up and having another sparring session. I guarantee you, there's dudes in the world every minute sparring harder than you just watched AJ do for 30 minutes. He's crying right now because his turning up wasn't enough. He's feeling sorry for himself. Because really, for the first time in his career, turning up wasn't enough. The Ruiz rematch, turning up was enough. He just turned up as big and as buff as he was and ran around shitting his pants. And it was enough. Now he's crying, oh God, why wasn't it enough for me just to turn up and not have to dig deep? That's the problem we see with these athletes. With these guys, who have naturally gifted gifts, who never really have to work for much. They expect it on a plate. AJ expects to turn up, yeah, and his basic turning up should be enough. And if it's not, he throws his toys out the pram. He's never really had to go to the trenches as a game plan because of his natural gifts. Now, if AJ didn't have half the natural gifts he has to win fights, he'd have to dig deep. And knowing AJ's mind, he never would have made it. If he didn't have it, if he wasn't given the whole game on a plate for him, he wouldn't have been no one. Bottom line. If AJ was a standard 6 foot heavyweight, do you think he'd have got through to where he was? Absolutely not. He got through based on being a complete mammoth of a man. Shocking. Everyone around him, not one person, want to tell him any truths. They just want to suck some more.
Oh, anything. I'm upset, really, like deep down in my heart.
Everyone clapping. Unbelievable.
Trust me.
Who's got a question for me while we're waiting?
Radio right here.
He's in the gym all the time with people that actually aren't role models, that aren't ambassadors, that aren't people that I would want my kids to look up to. This is someone that I want my kids to look up to.
Yeah, that's because you promote him, Eddie. Yeah? I've never seen Tyson Fury nick someone else's belts and throw him out the ring. Your man did that. What's a role model about that, you clown? And you bet your bottom dollar, if Eddie Hearn was promoting Fury a role model. Yeah, I want my kids to be like Furies. Get out of here, you clown. Sick of hearing Eddie Hearn. The guy's a goober, proper goober. And he deserves everything he's got. Yeah, the AJ product has failed. AJ test has failed because Eddie and AJ don't know what they're doing. Crap team, crap management. Then that's the start and the end of it. Yeah, you think you're so smart, but yet you didn't bring the YB in. YB could have been solved this problem. Been solved it 2 years ago, 3 years ago. When all the other AJ clowns were busy doing this, topping some next man off, the YB was here, spitting lyrics, and I told you before, no win, no fee. In fact, I even told you for Usyk, no knockout, no fee. Yeah, I'm that confident. If I was training AJ, would have knocked Usyk out. And if not, I'd go home on my own ticket. Oops, who doing that? Was Fernando doing that? No. Was Robert Garcia doing that? No. They was here looking for the coin. But listen, that's AJ. AJ he loves to be surrounded by sucker offers. He loves to be surrounded by clout chasers. And there we are. That's what you get. You hire clout chasers, you get clout chasing having ass results. No one to blame but himself.